Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is October 29th, 2021. 2 days until Halloween and 2 days until we play the New Orleans Saints. How about
Curb
that?
stomp them.
Well, that music just stopped like that.
I heard it
Fade
too.
out.
Yeah. Weird.
That was weird. You think we're going to curb stomp them?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Okay. Well, then let's get right into it, guys.
Let's do it.
This is the preview podcast. That's pretty much all we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Do we have
A whole
any,
hour.
A whole hour. Do we have any Buccaneer news or around the league news? I haven't watched anything today. I've been busy.
I haven't really either. I do have just a couple of things. Okay, so we have an injury report today, which I'll get to in just a second. We had two of our coaches. We touched on this, Kevin Ross and AQ. I didn't realize AQ Shipley was out on the COVID list too. But they're back. So we got that going for us. And also, remember long snapper Zach Triner, who tore a tendon in his finger in that game. And he's been on IR. And we assigned Carson Tinker to come in and help in his absence. Well, Zach Triner was running with trainers today.
Oh, good.
So
I forgot that our long snapper.
I know.
It just goes to show how important they are. Huh?
I know.
That's the weirdest position. I mean,
Well, I think it's one of those you don't want to know that it's bad because then it's pretty bad.
Or you don't want to know that it exists.
Yeah, exactly. So he was supposed to miss like 10 to 12 weeks, but he's already
Damn, he's got that
hanging out with
JPP
it.
going on.
Or maybe, this was Greg Allman that tweeted this. He was running with trainers. I mean, you don't run with your finger. You don't need your finger to run. So maybe he's just trying to stay in shape. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Greg will keep us updated.
But yeah, long snappers, that's the one position that they only have one job. They're only used for very few downs, field goals, punts, and that's all they do. That's it. And
Specialists.
we have to have a roster spot for a long snapper. They are complete specialists. You get punters, they can kick sometimes, like our punter, Pinion.
Bradley Pinion, they keep putting him in for the long ones.
Yeah, that's what Bruce Arians said, that, for the long field goals, they like to put Pinion in because he can kick them. He kicks them in practice all the time. Although I don't think he's made one this year.
No.
It's a little bit twice.
To be fair, they keep putting him in for like 60-yarders, and that's hard to make either way.
Yes. So who is our long snapper now? It is Carson Tinker. Right. You said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess Carson's doing a pretty good job. Haven't heard his name otherwise.
Yeah,
I forgot he existed.
I've always said I'd like to have my son learn to be a kicker in the NFL because, they make pretty good money. They don't have to work a lot, But I think a long snapper would probably even be better.
Yeah.
Although they do have to
block
just
people. Thinking they're going to block.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be great for like a real skinny kid. But they could be a kicker.
So, news around the league, anything interesting? How about that game last night? The Packers and the Cardinals. That was a good game. It lived up to its billing. Molly ended up going to sleep at halftime.
That's pretty. I can make it to halftime. That's like it on a Thursday night game.
She is not a stay up late person at all. 9 o'clock, she's paraplegic. She's just done.
Yeah,
she just lays on the couch.
Completely useless. Can't do it.
Yep.
So, and then usually in bed by 10.
Yeah, it was great. The last few minutes were just awesome. Good stuff. But it was nice to see the Cardinals get knocked out of the undefeated category.
I know. Someone had asked Greg Allman about who do we want to lose, either the Cardinals or Green Bay. And, either one is good for us. Probably we wanted the Cardinals to win, so then we're all kind of on level playing field, because it's going to matter for seeding in the playoffs. And that one game could make a difference. They're only one game up on us, but that's the difference between number 1 seed and number 2 seed. And now, right, the number 2 seed is not getting a bye week. It's only the number 1 seed getting a bye week in the playoffs.
That's right. Yeah.
So
it's a big deal.
That's going to make a huge difference. Yeah. And it certainly makes a difference for Green Bay too, because they might be in that position where they're fighting. Last year they had the first round bye in the playoffs. So they've grown accustomed to having that 1 week of rest.
Yes. So, yeah, I was really happy that the Cardinals. But I don't like people thinking they're better than us just because they were 6-0 or 7-0. No.
Yeah, we can't have that. Can't have that.
That's our title, buddy. We are the best team in the league.
And then, so I wonder if we win. They lost.
Yeah,
Green Bay won.
Oh, we're going to move up.
So we're all going to be 7-1. Who's going to be top dog
Us.
at this point?
We're number 2 now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, I just wonder what the tiebreakers. I'm not clear what the tiebreakers are.
I mean, rankings.
We absolutely are the best team, but as far as playoff seeding goes,
it
feels so weird to be thinking about that right now. And I just realized my schedule that I had in my notes, I missed a game. I had missed the Bears game, so it was like my weeks were kind of off. And anyway, so I was very confused, and but then I was like, oh wow, we're already in week 8.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Whoa. And the next week we're in week 9.
Next week we'll be halfway through the season.
Yeah. And next week is our bye.
Not counting playoffs.
Right.
Because we're going to the playoffs.
We
know it.
Yeah.
How good does that feel, man? I mean, just
I know.
So many years of...
Yeah, to already be talking about playoffs.
Yeah. Here it is. We're not even halfway through the season.
I know.
And we know we're going to the playoffs. Whereas for the past 10 years, it's been halfway through the season, we're talking about draft picks. What our drafting
we would still
order is
talk about playoffs until we were mathematically eliminated.
Yeah, but it was always a long shot.
You were always blowing smoke.
I was. Hey, I wear my Buccaneers tinted glasses 24/7, buddy. So
it's no fun if you're like, oh, we're out of it. You got to keep that hope to keep you engaged and entertained. Otherwise, it's just depressing.
Yes, I wonder what, there's been a big change in the fan base, definitely. And, the fans who have been pessimistic for so long, there was a huge, it seemed like that was the vast majority of the Buccaneers fan base.
Joe Bucs fans readers. No, I'm serious. That's their market. But they have completely flipped around. Joe Bucs fan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're amazing. I've always liked their coverage. I don't like the negativity, but they do have some good stuff.
Oh yeah, anything the Buccaneers say, do anything. I mean, they don't miss a thing.
They have a different perspective.
If anybody talks about the Buccaneers across the other side of the globe, Joe Bucs is going to write an article.
I don't know how they do it. I mean, you have to. I know, but they only have 3 people, right? 4 maybe? Like, how are they listening and watching and reading everything?
That's why I say
don't know how you
they're the hardest working people in the league.
I don't know how
the hardest working media members anyhow.
For sure, yeah.
And they've been doing this
for a
low
bar.
Long time.
Yeah,
it is low bar. But it feels good, and I like to see the positivity in the in the Bucs fan base. But
they like Jameis with the condom. His running backs are the best condom in the league.
But I do like to see the change. It's one of the reasons why we started the podcast, because we believe that the fans are the 12th man, and you need positivity, you need hope, you need to be and keep a positive frame of mind. And the fan base was just so negative for so long. And where are they now is what I want to know. I'd love to talk to somebody who was like super anti-Jason Light and just down on everybody, and they've kind of disappeared.
Well, they have no argument.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna say? There's nothing you can say. You could hate Jason Light and still, you gotta admit, like.
Yeah. Yeah. You change your username on all the forums and stuff like that and come out as another. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You know, because they were wrong about everything. So, you know, there it is.
Mm-hmm. I want to touch on what you said about the fans. Tom Brady talks about the fans
all the time.
So often about how impactful the crowd noise can be. Mm-hmm. And especially in stadiums that are known for being very loud.
Yes, he talks about that quite a bit.
He talks about it a lot. So it does make a difference, and we've been saying that for years. You know, Raymond James is quiet and empty, and, you know, the fans need to show up and get loud. And
it's been loud this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, people want to go see them. They know they're not going to lose.
Right.
It's not going to be a depressing game, so...
Yes, I've always wanted to have the Buccaneer fan base be very coordinated and work to help win the team or help win the games for the team. I've kind of never understood that about the NFL and the ownership, why they don't really push for fans to be more part of the game itself. You see it in Seattle, and you see it in some places where the fans are really... You know, they understand the game. They understand when they make noise, it makes it hard for the opposing team's offense, and they have to go to the silent count, and it screws up communication and all that good stuff. But there's so much more that could be done with it, you know. And I don't understand why it's not a huge push for. I think that one of the team that figures it out is going to really dominate for a while, and it'll spread throughout the league if it ever happens. But I'd like to see coordinated stuff in the stands to help the team win.
Like something like soccer matches, how crazy they get, and they bring the noisemakers and bells, and they have all kinds of stuff. I don't know that you can bring that kind of stuff in an NFL stadium.
No, I would love to. I would love to have a stadium that when the opposing teams are playing there, they're intimidated, and they talk about it. You know, they'll be like, "Those fans are scary." You know, because as when they come out on the field, the opposing team, the stadium's just totally quiet, just like a pin drop. You know, and when our offense has the ball, it's like that, just totally quiet. But then when they get the ball, instead of cheering and making just noise, I would like to see a coordinated effort for everybody to make the most annoying, grating sound that they could possibly do, like in the movie with the Dumb and Dumber. And he was like, "You want to hear the most annoying sound?" And he was like, "Ee!" And he did it for like 5 minutes straight. You know, get the whole stadium to do that. Just makes this really annoying noise that would, I do that when I go to the game. Molly will test you. I'll sit there and just make this noise because I want to aggravate the other team.
Oh, well, you just aggravate people around us.
Yes,
I've
I
heard
do.
people say
Yes, well,
I know.
That's part of the...
Well, and yeah, it happened, I think, when we were on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
You're making noise. Guy behind us said something.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not telling Ralph this because I don't want him in jail on our honeymoon.
But, there's a lot that could be done with it. But I'm just very happy that, Buck fans are showing up, making noise. And it means a lot. Tom Brady, like you said, he
talks about it all the time.
He talks about it all the time. So, let me see.
And not just, talking about the Bucs fans, but he talks strategically how you approach certain games. Like in New Orleans, we're going to New Orleans. It is loud in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a reputation, and the Bucs know that it's going to be loud, ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a big difference in your preparation. And, Tom Brady is all about the preparation and the communication. He talks about communication all the time, and that's what it does. It hinders your ability to communicate with your line.
Yes.
And so Tom Brady said the other day, he was like, if I'm in a loud stadium, I talk to my tackles, and if they can't hear me, that's when we switch to the silent count. But,
yeah, he's constantly asking his tackles, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?"
Yeah.
Yes. Which is, smart, but Tom Brady's kind of smart.
Yeah.
I think he knows what he's doing out there.
I don't know.
But this is going to be in New Orleans on Halloween night.
Ooh.
And that place is crazy to begin with, but on Halloween night,
a fun game that would be.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to New Orleans. I know you're like, ugh. But I'm like, it just seems like a very interesting place to me. Build on a swamp.
Hopefully it'll just float away from there. So, big game. I don't think it's really that big of a game, but it is a big game. It's a big game. God, there's so much. It's a big game for us because we want this division. We want this division title. We didn't get it last year.
It goes through New Orleans.
Right.
100%. Or
it
has up until this point gone through New Orleans. So this could very much be a turning of the tide game. It could be the playoff game might be symbolic of that very thing happening. But this game would be confirmation that it has happened, that there has been this transition.
Yes. But I think this is probably the biggest game of the year for us as far as, a game that, I don't know, matters. The Dallas game, it was Dallas, so that was a big game. And it was on prime time and all that good stuff. The New England game, it was big because of the history behind Tom Brady, New England. The Rams game, that was a big game because, it was the Rams. They beat us 2 years in a row. And, we knew it was going to be tough. But this is the first game that, we've got a decent opponent that it matters. This game. Those games didn't matter. Dallas, they're in the NFC East. New England, they're in the AFC East. Rams are in the NFC West. So it wasn't. They're not that important games. The division games are what matter, and this is our first big division game. So it's gonna be interesting. We definitely can win this. No doubt about that. If we bring our A game, even our A- game, we can win this. So if we bring our C, B- game, that's when things are going to be tough.
Okay. Well, so then that's the question, like, where are we as far as that goes? So to me, I'm like, I feel like we're getting on a rhythm. I think we're doing really well. But then now that you brought it up, who we've played, I pulled up the schedule and I look at the last few teams that we played and they're not great opponents. Certainly, like, I think New Orleans maybe average, maybe slightly above average, but they're better than the teams that we've faced in the last few weeks. So I think it will certainly be a question whether our streak as of late has been a product of the opponents that we've faced, or if we have kind of turned a corner and are starting to hit our stride.
I think that we're just better than everybody else. Even against the Chicago game, I wouldn't say we played an A+ game. A-. The offensive line did great. I don't think that Tom Brady was on point the way he normally is. I mean, he threw some great balls, don't get me wrong, but he also threw some ducks too. So that's unlike him. We had some miscommunication a little bit between him and Evans, but they did, of course, throw up some big numbers. There was, we had issues with the running game. They got a 100-yard rusher on us. So we didn't even there in that game, we didn't play our best. But we're still, our B+ is better than anybody else's in the league's A+. It's just how it is. I'm going to say it. That's how it is. And, most teams are hoping that we don't bring our A+ game. And we haven't yet. And like Tom Brady says, the NFL doesn't start till after Thanksgiving. That's when it matters. So this game, while it is the most important game we played, standing-wise so far this year, it's still not that important. It's not until we get down, late November, early, mid-November. That's when it's going to start mattering.
Okay, that's true, but I feel like you are setting up an excuse.
Oh, no. Well, no, I'm trying to make sure everybody doesn't freak out if something weird does happen and we lose.
Weird.
Well, it's gonna be if we lose, it's gonna be some because of some weird stuff. It's kind of like Jameis Winston. He played like dog crap Monday Night Football. Well, he played like Jameis Winston, and he threw a touchdown. I think it was the only touchdown they had, and it was a Hail Mary. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. If we get beat by stuff like that, I want everybody to just calm down and realize, hey, it doesn't mean we're a bad team. Doesn't mean we're going to not go to the playoffs. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to win the division. It's just later in the year, the games are going to be a lot more important as far as placement and stuff goes. But of course, we don't want to lose this game. Mm-hmm. I don't want to lose it. I never want to lose to the Saints. But they've had our number for a long time. Of course, we got the receipts last year in the playoffs. So.
Right. I mean, how much is that going to impact that?
Yes. They want revenge. This is a revenge game for them.
Well, and for Jameis.
Right. Exactly. I think that's the biggest issue.
This is the first time he's faced us as a starter.
Yes. Where he's thrown more than one pass.
I know.
I hated him for that.
I know that they're kind of using him differently this year. They are not. Is he a game manager? Is that what's going on here? I mean, he's not. I'm looking at his stats. So, they're not.
Right.
They're stats.
They're stats.
So let's get that out of the way.
Take them with a grain of salt.
But I just wanted to see what's the difference between this season, how he's playing, and what's happening, and what happened in 2019 in Bruce Arians' system. He is averaging 25 pass attempts a game.
Good Lord, that's it?
Yeah.
Oof.
But
Bruce Arians wasn't joking, was he? He said,
yeah.
Well, he's only passing 15 times a game.
Attempts. Hold on, let me make sure that's right. Now you're like, you got me. I did them out. Hold on. So he's got 150. Oh, gosh, darn it. Okay, this calculator is making me crazy. 25 passes a game. He's got 151 attempts and 89 completions.
Yeah.
Over 6 games. Okay, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. And then, but with us, he averaged 39 attempts a game. So that's pretty huge.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge
Big difference.
And that's exactly what Bruce Arians said. They asked him how Jameis Winston is playing this year. And he was like, well, he's playing pretty good since he only has to throw the ball 15 times a game.
Yeah.
That cracked me up.
Mm-hmm. He's right. And then, so right now he's averaging 186 yards a game. So not even 200 yards a game. I know.
God.
Isn't that insane? Isn't that crazy? Whereas in 2019, he averaged 319 yards a game.
Wow.
Yeah. So almost half as many yards. As far as ball security goes, he's only had 3 interceptions and 1 fumble.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when that's a 2% interception rate. When he was with us, he had a 5% interception rate. A huge difference.
Yeah.
I think one year he had his first year he had a 2.8%. That was the lowest he ever had with us. That's bad. Of course, we all know that, but
yeah.
So they're keeping the ball out of his hands. It's Alvin Kamara is doing all the work.
Well, here's the weird thing though with that is I looked at Kamara's averages or what his performance. And so he's averaging rushing about 7 more yards a game this year than he was in 2020.
Right.
So only 69 yards. He averaged 69 yards this year versus 62 yards per game last year. And as far as attempts goes, he has about 7 more attempts per game than he did last year. So they're kind of rushing it a little bit more, I would say, but he's not that much more productive. That's what's weird about it.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting 7 more attempts, but he's only averaging 7 more yards per carry or per game. So that's a little, you're like, I don't.
Does that include passing too? They throw to him
No.
now.
So as far as receptions, he's averaging less receptions. He had 7 in 2020. He's getting 7 receptions a game. Now he's getting like 5.5. So you kind of think that Kamara, he is getting more carries, but he's not more productive. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Jameis's sack rate is still the exact same as it was with us for the most part. He's at 6.8%
Really?
sack rate.
Oh, see, I had looked at his numbers per game. So he averages about 3. He averaged 3 sacks a game with us, but now he's only getting about 1.8 in 2020 or 2021 with the Saints.
Because he's not dropping back to throw as much.
But so what's the sack rate metric? What does that measure?
What percentage of his dropbacks does he get sacked on?
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a more accurate statistic versus just the raw number.
Yeah. But so, they're using him a tad bit differently.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he a game manager? Like, are they just kind of, I don't know. I mean, they're not putting the game in his hands, as far as I can tell.
No. Who was it? We watched the Saints last night. Was it? No, night before last. What game was that?
Seattle.
No.
Oh, no. Hold on. I have their schedule up.
Seattle. It was Washington. We watched the Washington game. And that was just ugly. Remember? I mean, it was Heineke played like crap. Jameis Winston played like crap. New Orleans did not look good.
No.
Washington, and it was a close game, really.
Yeah.
Closer than the score.
Right. And so they beat Washington 33-22. It wasn't, the score was not that lopsided until about the fourth quarter when New Orleans kind of put it away. But yeah, I would say New Orleans is very inconsistent at this point. Like, Jameis, he'll make his big play and then he'll do something stupid. And they'll score, they can put up some points. But then the defense, they're kind of making plays, but then they're also getting plays made on them. So it's like, it's very reminiscent of the Buccaneers under Jameis Winston, where it's like, it doesn't seem like either side of the ball is hitting at the same time.
No, they're very inconsistent. Both sides of the ball. Everybody's talking about the Saints' defense is, really good. It's, best rushing defense, or I think it's the third. No, nobody beats us in rushing. That's not even close. Our rushing defense is got to win.
Even after the Chicago game? Where's our average?
I haven't even looked. I'm just curious. We were like 20 yards a game ahead of everybody. It was ridiculous. But, they say Saints are, good at stopping the run. They haven't played anybody that runs the ball. They played Green Bay. Right? They played Carolina. Carolina kind of runs the ball a little bit. Like they played New England. They played the Giants, Washington, and Seattle. None of those are running teams. So, I'm not worried about, them stopping our run, especially if we do like we have in the past couple of weeks. Their defense is better than, Philadelphia and Miami's and Chicago's, but, the Fournette and that offensive line is just killing it out there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I can't wait to see them against Cam Jordan.
Yeah, he's back, right? He's playing.
Oh, I don't know. Was he injured?
Wasn't he? Gosh,
I
we
don't
sound
know.
like we don't know anything about football. I don't know. Why do we even have a podcast?
I don't think he was injured. I think he played last week.
Who was injured on their defensive line? Oh, my goodness.
Hold on. I got the injury report up.
Nah, that ain't going to help.
Jalen Dalton?
No.
Defensive tackle. Oh, that was August. Hold on.
Okay, anyhow, the Saints, now their secondary has always been pretty good. Or, has been pretty good against us for quite a while. Lattimore, and I got jealous the past couple of weeks watching him. We watched him with Washington. We watched him with Seattle. And he fought with both receiving core. Against Seattle, they were out there literally punching each other, him and DJ Metcalf. And Metcalf's a big dude. But I was getting jealous. I was like, hey, wait a minute. That's supposed to be Mike Evans. That's you and Mike Evans's thing. I didn't know you were a jerk to everybody.
Yeah.
You're just a...
Well, and then Chauncey Gardner, is he a safety? Gardner Johnson? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about him?
He's the one who got the 2 Chicago receivers to punch him.
Oh, that's right.
But in 2 different games, he had a receiver ejected because they decked him.
Yes. That's funny.
Yeah.
So apparently the Saints secondary are little twerps. They just get under your skin.
Yeah, evidently.
Huh.
Evidently.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we'll see the rivalry between Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore. That one kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's always fun to watch. And remember when Jameis Jameis, didn't he poke Marshawn Lattimore's helmet? And then
Evans came over and clobbered him.
Yeah, Lattimore turned around and was gonna swing on him, or shoved him, something. And then Mike Evans came back and
just came out of nowhere like a missile and clobbered him. Man, I love that. And he got suspended for a game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. Surprised it was only one game.
I know.
Marcus Davenport is who I was thinking.
Okay, I was gonna say that. I was looking.
Yeah, he's back, right? This is his first game back.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. He's not on the injury report. Was he on IR?
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha. I'm looking at the news for him now. So I wonder with the Buccaneers defense if they're just chomping at the bit to go at Jameis.
Oh, they are. They are. But here's the thing. I wish Carlton Davis and SMB were back because they played against him in practice all the time, and they were getting interceptions on him all the time. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And everybody was like, "Ooh, our secondary is really awesome." No, it just turned out Jameis Winston those interceptions.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few people in our secondary who have never played against Jameis Winston, either in practice or in Winfield.
Oh.
D. Delaney.
Okay.
Pierre Desir.
Oh, so all of our second. Damn
Ross
it.
Cockrell. Yeah.
Dang it.
Or Ross Cockrell.
No.
Yeah, so we got a lot in our secondary who have never played against him.
That is so disappointing.
I know, but these guys are going to be like, okay, here's what you do. Mm-hmm. You just kind of hang around the receiver.
Until he stares down his receiver and you'll know who he's throwing it to.
Right. Whoever he's looking at is getting the ball. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And kind of don't get in front of the receiver, because if you do, then you're never going to catch the ball because Jameis Winston is so inaccurate. If you're in front of the receiver, he's going to throw it, probably over your head. So just be around the receiver. Matter of fact, let the receiver be wide open, but just be around him, and Jameis Winston will probably throw it straight to you. Mm-hmm. So the guys are probably telling them that.
Yeah. And then the defensive line.
Oh, they're chomping at the bit. Sue, he's gonna cause some damage, I bet.
And Vita.
Yeah, Vita. JPP. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see the defensive
Yeah,
line having a good
those
game.
guys have nasty streaks in them. Barrett, not so much. Barrett, Barrett's just, he seems like a really, he does his job. He's not out there getting in people's faces and, poking them in the eye and the pile and stuff like that. The other three.
I like Jensen.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so Marcus Davenport, his first game back was Monday, the Seattle game.
Okay.
So he will be back. You are correct.
Okay. So he was there at the Seattle game?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Huh. Damn. Yeah, so Jameis Winston, he wants to win this. I mean, you got to remember, he was the first round draft pick. We put this franchise on his shoulders for 5 years. 5 years. And the guy, he just couldn't ever get over that hurdle of turning the ball over, making bad decisions. And we were big Jameis Winston supporters. Anybody
defending him
Yes.
for years.
Yes. And he's got in his head, he's a competitor. He wants to win this game probably more than he's ever wanted anything in his life, which is a bad thing for him. Jameis Winston is not good with the emotions.
He's not good under pressure.
Exactly.
When it matters.
Yeah, he's going to be at New Orleans on Halloween night. It's not a primetime game, right? It's 4 o'clock.
No, it's 4 o'clock.
Okay. And, it's Halloween night, and this is a revenge game for him. He's playing against a lot of his old players, his old coaching staff. And, he just doesn't perform well under those situations.
And against Tom Brady, wearing your uniform, come on, sitting on your bench. Oh my gosh, in your huddle.
At least Tom Brady didn't take his number. That would have been.
Yeah, that would not have been cool. He should have just
for spite. I don't think Tom Brady has given Jameis Winston 2 minutes of thought.
No,
since he decided he was going to sign with the Buccaneers
at all.
Yeah, this is totally 100% Jameis Winston revenge game. And their team is probably wanting revenge for getting knocked out of the playoffs.
Embarrassed in the playoffs.
Embarrassed, yeah. But
retiring Drew Brees because now they all got to deal with Jameis Winston. They're mad at us, guys.
And rightfully so.
We got some mouthy fans on Twitter on the Bucs side who have been harassing Saints fans.
Hey, screw the Saints, man.
I love it. I love it. But I'm just saying, I think everyone in New Orleans has a chip on their shoulder. They're pissed about this game.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to get embarrassed. They don't want to be embarrassed. That's the thing, too.
Well,
in these games where you don't want to be embarrassed, that's when
you
Jameis gets embarrassed.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, he gets spooked easy. We talked about that all the time, about how he sees ghosts, he gets happy feet. And, our guys don't play around with that mess. I mean, we come at you, and if you get spooked, we're taking you down. You can't outrun our guys. You're not going to evade them. I mean, you see what we've done to all these scrambling quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. God, who is it we played? Chicago. I mean, that guy didn't do anything.
Yeah. And Jameis is like a prey animal and with predators.
Right.
So prey animals, they get spooked. But they're very easy to kind of herd in one direction, or what I mean? I feel like strategically JPP and Shaq are so well matched to deal with a spooked Jameis.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's what I am very confident we're going to win. But, that's any given Sunday. It's New Orleans. We always play them hard, always play them close.
Yeah, and they do have Sean Payton. I mean, that's their trump card right there. He's a great coach, and he's
going to come out with some crazy stuff.
Consistently had our number for very many years, and he's probably pissed he got knocked out of the playoffs like that, and we retired his quarterback.
That's right.
And so he wants revenge, I think, as much as anyone else.
Right, but I think New Orleans is getting ready to realize what they got in Jameis Winston, because this is a game that matters a lot to them. To us, it's not that big. Even if we lose, we're still leading the division. We got plenty of other games down the road. They're 2 games behind us. They need this game. Mm-hmm. They can't fall 3 games behind us and, lose to us for the tiebreaker. Then that means the next game, when do we play them next? Like 3 weeks from now or something?
Hold on, I have this.
4 weeks. The next game that they play us, they have to win, in order to have any hope.
We play them week 15 on December 19th.
God, I didn't think it was that late.
Mm-hmm. Which that's an 8:00 game. That's an 8:20. That must be a Thursday.
Yeah, so if they lose this game...
that's Sunday. That's a Sunday night game. I'm sorry.
If they lose this game Sunday, they're going to have to win that game to have any hope of making the playoffs.
A primetime game, too.
I know. At Tampa.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Right. So, Jameis is still playing the same old Jameis. He gets spooked. He makes bad decisions. He does do great plays, though. And, he will give you some good quarterback play for half the game. That's
the thing, too. He hasn't gotten benched yet because he makes these great, spectacular plays. We'll probably give one up. Let's be real here. That's what he does. Against Washington, he did that. He looked like absolute garbage, and then he threw this ridiculous
Hail
bomb.
Mary,
yeah, and that's just what he does. He's just playing Jameis football.
What was it? I think it was against Green Bay, the week
the
1.
First game?
I can't remember who it was, but he was being tackled. They were like on the 10-yard line. He was being tackled. He's fallen to the ground, and he just throws it into the end zone, and the receiver catches it. It's a touchdown. Those are the kind of plays you're going to get from Jameis Winston. But along with those plays, you get the goofy, what were you thinking Jameis Winston plays, He's always wanting to make a play, and he's going to do some crazy stuff. Sometimes it works. More often than not, it doesn't. Mm-hmm.
And we've seen those so many times. Mm-hmm. Our defense.
Yeah, New Orleans hasn't seen it
they're
yet.
Coming.
Because, they haven't had to put the ball in Jameis's hands yet to win the game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And New Orleans defense, while, it might be good, it's not going to stop this buzzsaw. They're going to have to keep up with us in scoring. And our defense is really good. And as we can see, our secondary is not as bad as everybody's made it out to be with injuries. We're still playing good football. And, they're not going to be able to run it on us. Kamara's always had a hard time with us. He's never really kicked our butts.
Mm-hmm. Except, I think, receiving. Like, as far as rushing goes, no, we've shut him down. But he's always dangerous receiving.
Yeah, he's dangerous. They're going to get around whether he's receiving or running it. But, they're not going to be able to run it down our throats. They're not going to control the game like that, like they've been doing all year against opponents. And, we're going to harass the mess out of Jameis Winston and cause him to make silly mistakes. We're going to want to make him have to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. That's what everybody on our team is wanting. Jameis, put the game in Jameis's hands. And so we're going to work towards that. I bet we're going to come out offensively and try to score as quick as we can to make them have to try and score. We want Jameis Winston to have the ball. So
that's a good point. Levante David is coming back this game.
Is he?
Well,
Are you serious?
Questionable. But they asked BA about all these guys. Like, does Richard Sherman have a chance to play? Is Gronk going to play?
And he said,
and he said, well, he hasn't been ruled out.
Well, he says
so there's a chance.
He said the only player ruled out is Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Which, that's good because they don't have Michael Thomas back yet. He was supposed to come back for this game, right?
Yeah. Well, we had touched on this the last time, and then it seemed like he had
I don't think he wants to play with New Orleans anymore.
No, I don't think so either.
Now it's like November.
Jameis Winston. Like you play, I mean, I'm not trying to knock on Jameis, but you play with Drew Brees.
Right, yeah, big. It's like
all your career. Yeah. There's no yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Now they got that, what was his name, Marquise Colson?
Yeah.
He's good. That guy, him and Jameis seem to have some chemistry too. Mm. So.
And that Callaway? He likes that Callaway too.
Callaway. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking about. That's the rookie, right?
I don't know. Hold on.
Marquise Callaway. What did I say? Golston?
Colson.
Okay, Marquise Callaway.
Okay.
So we were both right.
Okay.
I had the Marquise, you had the Callaway. Yeah, him and Jameis, they got some pretty good chemistry. So, wouldn't be surprised if we get, torched a couple times. It's going to happen.
Yeah, big play.
Yeah.
I'd say we give up 2-3 big plays. Deontay Harris, their returner, he's questionable. So, oh God, please do not let him play.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
But our special
a
teams
hamstring.
have gotten a lot better. So.
That's true. That's true. So as far as the injury report goes, so like you said, Antonio Brown, he's the only one ruled out. They're not putting him on IR though, so that's a good sign that we could see him back after the bye. But Gronk is questionable, Richard Sherman is questionable, Levante is questionable, and JPP is questionable. So they all have a chance to play. On the New Orleans side, they have Andres Pete is out, their tackle, offensive lineman, which I feel like he's always hurt. And they've had struggles with this offensive line. I feel like one of them has been hurt almost every time. Because their center, Ruiz, he's kind of the same way, but he's a guard and a center. They kind of move him, so... Anyway, their running back, Dwayne Washington, is out. Defensive end, Payton Turner, is out. Taysom Hill is out still with that concussion. And then Deontay Harris, their receiver, questionable with a hamstring. And then they had 2 people on the 27th get added to the COVID list. Their cornerback, Ken Crawley, and Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Lil Jordan
Humphrey. He got put on the COVID list. And then, remember Will Lutz, their kicker? He had, it was groin surgery. That was right. In the off season, and they thought, oh, he might be able to come back. Yeah, no, he's not coming back now. They said he had a setback in his recovery.
Man, nobody wants to play for the Saints.
I would expect him to retire. I don't see him lasting that long.
Wow. So it sounds like, Michael Thomas, he doesn't, he had the contract situation in the off season, he got the surgery. There was miscommunication there, even though Sean Payton has a communications degree.
I can't believe that idiot journalist wrote that. That's what kills me. I'm like, you're a journalist and you don't know what a communications degree is?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm the idiot. Maybe I don't know. I went to college 10 years ago.
For communications. You went for journalism.
Yeah.
So this is definitely, I would say the Saints are on, downward trend. Jameis Winston just is not Drew Brees. And you're never going to make him into, he's had so many opportunities and I can't see it happen. And if he can't do it with New Orleans Saints, with a elite class coaching staff, with elite players around you, which, he had elite players around him at the Buccaneers and couldn't do it. This is going to be the end of his career, and I don't want to see it. But then again, I don't want him to do good.
Not against us, and not in our division.
If he would have went to the AFC, I'd have wished him all the luck in the world.
Yeah.
He's an enemy now.
I'd be rooting for him.
Yeah.
That's right. I agree with you. I think at this point he is what he is. And we talked about this before we even signed Tom Brady, when you and I were debating the Jameis thing. He is who he is at this point. It's 6-7 years in the league.
Yeah. This is his 7th year.
Yeah. Like, what you see is what you get.
Lord,
and he does show flashes of potential, like where he played like that consistently, he'd be an elite quarterback. But then there's always the bad that comes in with it: the fumbles, the interceptions, the really dumb decisions, the sacks.
He's got heart and he's got grit, and he's got the desire. He's got all that stuff, but it only carries you so far. And we were often we wondered if his vision was a problem, but I think that question's been answered too. I thought, he's just not making good decisions. It's not that he can't see guys. He just doesn't know how to make good decisions. He stares receivers down. He's not accurate. He just makes a lot of bad decisions, and he gets spooked too much. So we're gonna have a field day with it. I think so. I really do. I think our defense is just going to feast on this.
I think so too. And I just think that the pressure will be too much for him.
Yeah. And if it doesn't happen in this game, it's definitely going to happen week 15.
Yeah. Well, and I think the pressure will get to him because he will want it so bad. He will want to win so bad that he'll just make these questionable decisions. Like, he's just not, when he gets like that, when he wants to win so bad, it's like, I forget the saying. Any means necessary. He just kind of just does whatever, just throws the kitchen sink at it. And too often it's like they're not the best decisions.
No. And he's not accurate enough to throw, through tight windows, and he tries to do it all the time. And he ends up throwing it behind his receiver or too far in front of his receivers, or, and they'll stick a hand out and it'll tip up, and, just.
Yeah. I can see Winfield making a play, getting an interception. I can see Mike Edwards coming in, making a play.
Whitehead.
Devin White. Oh, Whitehead. Yeah. Good Lord. Yeah. Wow. We got a really long list of guys who I think are completely capable of picking Jameis off a time or two.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to touch on this. Now, we got beat by them twice in the regular season last year. One of them was a beatdown, 38-3,
yeah,
or 35-3
bad.
On Thursday Night Football. It was bad. It was embarrassing. And it was at our house too. And then we came out week 1. It was Tom Brady's first go at this offense and everything. And we weren't on point, not by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I think I had 8 miscommunications in that game, and it was incredibly large amount of bad plays on our part. But in both games, the number one issue, especially week one, definitely the reason why we won that game was because of the friggin' referees.
Oh, lost. We lost.
I mean, yeah, the reason why we lost that game was referees. I complained about that all year last year.
Oh, the holding, because we're not calling them for holding.
Right. The refs came out, the ref association or whatever it is, the league rules, they said they weren't going to call holding as much anymore. It had to be blatant is what they said. And they is that your phone? Or?
No, it's TweetDeck. You must have it open.
Anyhow,
am I right?
Yes. Okay. I'm lost.
What happened?
Yeah. So they said they weren't going to call holding unless it was blatant, right? Well, New Orleans just took way advantage of that in week 1. There was 24 uncalled penalties in that game that I counted. And I mean, I was just furious. And they were blatant. I was like, this is bad. That was 18 holds. So there were 6 other penalties. But there were 18 holds by the Saints that were uncalled. And that was the number one reason why we lost that game. Now, granted, we wouldn't play good football, but that was absolutely horrible. The referee crew on that one was John Hussey. Then in week 9, we played them again. That was the week... that was the Thursday Night Football game. Again, 24 uncalled penalties.
Good grief.
Yes.
Wow.
There was 3 on the Bucs, the holding. There was 18 holds by the Saints, 3 on the Bucs. In week 1, it was Jerome Boger's crew. Boger. There was 19 holds in that game by the Saints. 0 holding calls during that game. 0. They didn't call any. 19 holds by the Saints. There was the one run that Kamara got where there was a hold. There was 2 holds, a block in the back, and something else. I can't remember. But he got the touchdown on a screen pass, and it went through. And they were just our whole team got fouled on that one, and there was no calls. So that was a huge factor. It was the number one reason why we lost that game. And in week 9, it was a big reason. I wouldn't say it was the number one reason. So anyhow, this week, Sunday, we've got Cleet, my boy Cleet.
Okay.
Yes, Cleet Bakeman. I like him as a ref. His ref crews are always good. So we're going to have him. We didn't have him all year last year, which is a shame. We had some bad officiating last year. Officiating hasn't been that great this year either. But
it's been garbage this year.
But it's nowhere near as bad as it was last year.
Really, see, I feel like it's worse.
Yeah. But the bad thing about this is that on Cleek Blakeman's crew is Julian Mapp. Now, Julian Mapp was the head judge in the week 1 game. In the week 1 game where they didn't call any holds, and the Saints had 19 uncalled.
So what's
holds.
the head judge?
He's the one in charge of holding.
Okay.
So he's going to be the line judge in this one. He's now the line judge with Blakeman's crew. So the head judge stands on one side of the field on the line of scrimmage, and the line judge stands on the other side. They're basically both line judges, but they just have to differentiate them. So they call one a head judge. But they're both the ones in charge for calling holding and illegal formation and false starts, all that good stuff. So unfortunately, we're going to have that idiot on Cleet's crew. Now, hopefully, Cleet normally runs a tight ship. You don't get a whole lot of bad refereeing from his crew.
Chicanery.
Yeah, so maybe they put him on that crew to straighten him out. I don't know. I didn't like seeing. I was not happy seeing that guy on there. I was like, "Are you serious? We finally get Cleet, and now we got to deal with Julian." You can't win them all, man. So we'll see how the refereeing is in this game. If we lose,
I think it'll depend on whether we come out victorious or not.
Now, you know that is not true. I call the refs. I say
true.
they suck even if we do win. I'm an equal opportunity hater on the refs.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
But I will say the Miami game, probably one of the cleanest games I've ever seen, man. Well, yeah, I think there was maybe like 3 uncalled penalties in that, and that's like unheard of.
And there weren't even that many penalties called, right?
No. That's one thing I will say about the Buccaneers. We get penalized a lot, but it's like every time we have a penalty, they call it on us, and a lot of them are BS penalties. But we don't play dirty. We don't do a lot of, like the Saints. They play dirty. They hold a lot.
Yeah, some teams they definitely like push the limits to see what they can get away with. I think the Rams were like that.
Yeah, the Rams are like that. The Saints are like that, and the Redskins are like that. Those are 3 teams that they've always been. They like to push the limits. So they get away with what they can get away with. And if you ain't looking, they're going to punch you in the face.
Makes me think about Jensen. Ralph put together a really good video of Jensen, a compilation of him beating up on all the Bears.
It was a little short one.
Yeah, a little short one. But I thought it was funny because I got a better sense of how Jensen gets people so mad.
Yeah. He's always out there.
He's so mad. And here's what he does is he'll be messing with them. He'll hold them. He'll be grabbing them, whatever. As soon as they retaliate, he's doing this. Yeah. And he kind of flops a little bit like he gets the ref's attention.
Yeah, and he turns right around to the refs every time.
Yeah.
Like, what? You going to let him do that to me?
Yeah. But so he does it so casually and then pretends that he wasn't doing anything at all as soon as they retaliate, and that's how he gets them.
Yeah.
He's very good at it.
Oh, yeah. No, I would say he's a master at it. He gets under their skin. I mean, he's had, 4 guys that have gotten
ejected for punching him.
Well, McCoy didn't get ejected, did he?
Oh, no. He got a personal foul, though. Yeah. First one of his career.
I know. He's never had anything like that. Mm-mm. That just goes to show how aggravating Jensen is to these guys. Well, and I didn't show this in the video, and I'd like to show it, but he's one of those centers. He really likes physical contact. There's just no doubt about that. And he's one of those centers that, if he doesn't have somebody to block, he's looking for somebody to block. He won't just stand there. You see that with centers a lot. They'll put their arms out and they'll just kind of be like, okay, this is my area. Nobody's coming through. Jensen will come back, and if he doesn't have anybody to block, he turns around and he will help out his guards or a tackle, whoever he feels like he needs to help out. But he will run and just slam into guys while they're being blocked by a guard or something. And he's just constantly hitting guys, just wham, wham, wham. And that's got to be aggravating. Could you imagine just sitting there
annoying.
Being blocked by some 300-pound dude, and all of a sudden another 300-pound dude to hit you right in the ribs? Like, oh man! But he does that constantly.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Go check that video out if you haven't already. It's on YouTube and Twitter, and I can't remember if it's on Facebook. Instagram. I think it's too long for Instagram, so it didn't get up on Facebook.
Really?
I'm going to put it up on Facebook.
I try to keep it at a minute.
Yeah, well, Instagram, you have to do 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Or that's a reel.
The Tiffy video, I've got it all laid out and everything, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out in time. I wanted to get it done today, but then a bunch of stuff came up. And then we got your parents coming in this weekend. We got Halloween, blah, blah, blah. Don't know if I'll be able to get it out. So we might end up during the bye week or something, a whole bunch of Tiffy videos are going to drop because I got they're all backed up.
I know you got Atlanta, you've got
Philadelphia, Atlanta, and
the Bears. Or you got
yeah.
the Bears.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's done?
No, it's not done.
Oh.
I've got it all laid out though.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I was hoping to have it out because we got quite a few guys. I said I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do because the way the Game Pass film is set up now, it's just absolutely horrendous. And, I'm trying to figure out a format that'll work for everybody. And so I said that I was going to do the little shorter videos, and I had a lot of people were like, no, we really like the long form video. So I want to do it, but I want to do them more polished. I've always just kind of rushed them out, because all this good stuff. And I didn't put a lot of work into, rewriting the script. I don't even write a script. I just go with it because I'm just trying to kick them out. And, I want to make them more polished. So things are going to be different from here on out. But yeah, we're going to get the long form Tiffies in. I want to keep them under 10 minutes, but make them polished. Zip through it quicker, I guess. So, all right.
All right.
So there it is. What do you got for your prediction? Score prediction?
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited we're doing this again.
Yeah. Yeah, we've missed 2 weeks.
I know. Ooh, okay. All right. Let me think about this. Let me look at let's see how many points New Orleans has given up this year. Okay, hold on. All right. So they have been pretty stingy score-wise as far as giving up points to the other team. So against the Packers.
They played the Patriots, the Giants, the Redskins, the Seahawks.
I know, but wait.
Yeah.
Oh, well, even the Seahawks. Well, I guess it was Geno Atkins.
Geno Atkins.
Yeah. Geno Smith? No, not Geno Atkins. That's the defensive lineman.
Geno Smith, yes.
Geno Smith. Packers, they gave up 3. Panthers, they gave up 7. Patriots, they gave up 13. Giants, 21. Washington, 22. And Seahawks, 10. So they're a little stingy as far as the points go.
Yeah, 26 is the most they've given up, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go with 28 Buccaneers.
Okay.
Bucs score 28. And I think we're going to hold them to 20.
20. Okay. I think we're going to hit 35 again, so I'm just going to say 35. I'm going to say 35-21.
Okay. I think we'll shave this one a little closer. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that's the logical way it should go. But if it goes the way I think it's going to go and we just harass Jameis, and they're going to have a bad day.
Yeah. We can hope.
All right, guys. Y'all have a happy Halloween. You got your little thing there?
Oh,
Happy
yeah,
Halloween.
okay.
Oh, look.
It's our daughter's idea. I know.
Yeah. Our daughter told us to
Oh.
put these up and say Happy Halloween. It's a
Happy Halloween.
little Halloween hat. So,
Can you put it on you?
yeah. Look, mine's my green screen. It's a green hat, so.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Yeah, the
that
green
was,
screen.
I'm trying to put it in my hair, but my hair's too naughty. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Naughty or naughty?
Naughty.
Yo, naughty hair.
Naughty. Here we go. How do you like it?
Yeah, it's
Good?
awesome.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
getting a thumbs up.
All right, guys. Big game coming up. It's going to be fun. Happy Halloween. And until next time.
Go Bucs.